Hello and welcome to the ASC Weekly number 7 Diamond Division. We are now in the round of 8. So this will be a best of 3 between a newcomer to the ASC Weekly. I've never seen this name, I believe, unless we've just never casted him before. But we do have SavioRCraft here at the bottom left. Spawning is the Green Terran, also a kind of a not very seen color for Terran here. Looks kind of like the command center is covered in moss. And he is playing against the Pretty Pink Protoss, not the official Pretty Pink Protoss of the ASC Weekly, but one of them. We have JackBauer, a veteran of the ASC Weekly. I believe this is his second or third one. So glad to see you back. I am Simpatico.
I am Zeltsum, and your mic is balls.
My mic is balls?
God, your sound has been cutting into robot voice, like, every once in a while, for a while.
Hey, stream chat. Has my voice been going robot-y during late? Any at all? Yes? No? By the way, I'm just gonna go in here, change this to that so that we don't have health bars on. Alright, so apparently stream chat is saying that my voice has not been going robot-y. So it's
must just be Skype being retarded then.
Skype being retarded, overcome by giggles. So we do have one Rax going down for SavioRCraft, and likewise we have Gateway going down. No gas yet for JackBauer. There it goes. So both players playing as pretty much as standard could be thus far.
Damn it. I don't know how to make that stop because it's so annoying.
I am a robot. If you poke me, do I not bleed? The cake is a lie.
And I love ASC Weekly. I get to make memes.
Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun?
So awesome. It's so awesome. Retard being overtaken by
That
giggles.
is a classic. That is a classic ASC Weekly meme.
Couple people have started using middle finger to things, like verbalizing the words middle finger. Calling people, like calling sleeper cells, or not sleeper cells, calling Albie sneeze noise.
Sneeze noise, yeah, sneeze noise is quite a popular guy now. We're making him E-famous every day. Every day that guy's E-fame is growing. He's gonna have Korean girls all over him any day now.
I love making memes, man. This is what I was born to do, to make memes.
Make memes. And look at this, we have JackBauer mimicking what was his face last game? Who beat I think it was Dubs. Dubs did this against Mecha last game. Pretty much the identical thing. We'll see if it works out for him. Maybe he's watching the stream and he's like, "Hey, I'll try that."
Yeah. Well, you know, putting a pylon in your opponent's base, like if you just leave that probe there, there's like kind of no reason not to, because most of the time you lose that probe anyway. You pretty much do your build based on not having that probe.
Yep.
And if you can pop a proxy pylon on your opponent's base, that makes winning really, really easy, and it's not much of an investment, and you can really get a lot out of it. But he just pulled it back and started harassing with it, which is silly. But he does see the command center going up, and that's cool.
Yeah,
because,
I was gonna say that's a great little thing to see. He does see that it's gonna be a 2 racks fast expand, so he can react appropriately. And he himself, Mr. JackBauer, is doing. Well, he's getting a second gas down now. It looks like it's probably going to be a 4-gate, because, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm still learning Protoss, but getting the second gas this late kind of tells me that it's not going to be a 3-gate robo. That robo would have been down by now, if I'm not mistaken.
It could still be a 3-gate robo if he wants to go really heavy stalker out of the gateways first. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, this is a 3-gate expand.
Okay.
You need those you need that gas to get sentries out to be not dying all the time constantly.
Right.
To tear.
That robo
so you
does
get that
go down.
gas up. You get that gas up, and then you throw down the robo bay, because that way you can start getting out sentries before your robo is done. Because once that robo is done, you're going to want to immediately get an observer and maybe immortals, but at least that observer. And in the meantime, you can get out a few sentries to help defend.
SavioRCraft queuing up a couple of Marauders. That is kind of painful at this point in the game. That's a lot of minerals at 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes into the game. His Also getting a reactor on one of his racks, so he's going to be doing some 3 racks pressure here with that expansion. Hopefully he's not going to overcommit to this, as there's no way it's actually going to win anything. But he might... I don't think he's going to be able to... Oh, wow, yeah, JackBauer doesn't really have many units. He might be able to... He gets the cancel on the Nexus. That is so unfortunate. This is a great time to attack that...
You really need to cut those forces in half. You don't want to let the Terran leave. You don't want to let the Terran stay alive with those forces. You want to cut them in half, pick off as much as you can, because the last thing you want is him to keep those alive. If the Terran feels super safe, that's very bad.
This is a pretty terrible position for JackBauer to be in. He had committed those 400 minerals for so long. That expansion was literally seconds away from being done, and he's going to stim and go for it. Very bad decision making right there. There's no getting up that ramp, especially in Diamond Division. The control is just too good. I mean, I understand why he's keeping his forces here to deny this expansion for as long as he can, but he has to make sure not to commit to anything and lose this force. Or otherwise he will have given up quite a bit of his advantage, especially considering his expansion is up and running. Probe count is starting to get heavily in SavioRCraft's favor, especially with 2 orbital commands dropping mules.
Oh, JackBauer going for a fast Twilight Council. 5 gates off of 1 base, Twilight Council, Robo. I know he was going for a 2nd base, but really he can break this contain just with a few gateway units, and I think that's really what he needs to do, because it's actually quite a soft contain.
Ooh.
In fact, if he breaks it, he's going to be in a pretty good spot, because SavioRCraft is not gonna he's not gonna have much left. He needs to get. See, that was a good force field. He needs to pull his zealots back when that happens, so that you can use your stalkers to just pick up off those units up front. But yeah, SavioRCraft is way overstimming. He's taking a lot of unnecessary damage, not getting up that ramp, baiting some force fields, which is okay, but you should really not be simming in order to bait force fields. The more he tries to sim and push up the ramp, the more JackBauer can break out of this contain, and it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. A couple good force fields here.
Stimming right into those zealots, getting a couple of unneeded hits, and these units are already so weak. They're just, the stims have just demolished them. They really haven't gotten that many hits off, and look how low they are, and that caused a lot of deaths. These rallied-in units are going to turn around, they're going to go home, and rightfully so. I think that SavioRCraft could have been... It didn't give up too much of his lead, but definitely lessened it kind of considerably.
Yeah, this is that was definitely overcommitted. What he should have done is, I mean, he had an expansion up and perfectly safe. Instead of trying to keep pushing up the ramp, he should have just taken that contain, tried to push up the ramp again without stim. Once he gets force field, try and pull back. Otherwise, go up and start baiting some force fields. But now these Dark Templar are out, and there's no detection for SavioRCraft, it looks like. Does he even have an engineering bay? He does not even have an engineering bay out. There's a Ghost Academy just now finishing, but neither orbital command has enough for a scan. And those Dark Templar are creeping ever closer towards the Terran's vulnerable spot.
They're coming. Yeah, this is going to do some major damage. And one thing to point out here, something I saw earlier, we had 5 Marauders queued up in a single barracks here. Oh, very nicely done, splitting up the Dark Templar. One in the main now, killing mules. We have one in the main now, in the natural there, now in the main as well, killing off SCVs. Wow, this is doing a tremendous amount of damage. The probe count is still quite a bit in Savior's favor, but so denying a lot of mining time right now. Gonna kill a supply depot as well, which isn't gonna do too much. He's not supply blocked, but yeah, this DT now has 5 kills. Where did that other DT go? The other one has 10 kills and now killing supply depots, and which has a hat on it, so that's an extra, even more supply.
Oh, the DT almost gets away. Almost wasting the scan, but now there's a DT killing off these supply depots that have been supply dropped. And if this DT can get both these supply depots down, that's going to easily supply block Savior.
Yeah, he is now supply blocked.
Significant margin. He is now supply blocked, saving another scan for this DT. In the meantime, this DT getting more and more kills. Up to 13 now. EMP goes off to take down that Dark Templar. Nice choice there. Not gonna prevent that DT from doing any more damage. And now it looks like the Templar Archives is on the way out, and he's going to be making a pretty smooth transition into High Templar. Although In fact, I think that's a really good choice because if you look at his saturation and probe count, he's really, really low on workers. And if he just commits full saturation to his gas, then you're going to want to go for a heavy Gauss composition because that's the only area of income that he's not going to be significantly behind.
Yeah, JackBauer really evened out the game right here. If you look at the probe counts, he's actually ahead in the probe count now, whereas before SavioRCraft was so far ahead in the probe count. I think he was like 10 or 15 SCVs workers ahead at one point. So that is evened out.